the term shuck and jive. I mean, these kind of outreach attempts, are the most backfiring I've seen in American politics probably in my lifetime.
It is a bit ham-handed the way they go about doing this. You can sort of see what they might have been trying to do here, and one hopes that tomorrow they might send out a tweet ending poverty, and the next day they might send out a tweet ending all warfare. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, and I think what's happening here is people are not inclined to give this Republican Party the benefit of the doubt because of the record of statements and because of the record of policies, the most prominent of which right now is immigration, which is being bottled up entirely because of the Republican leadership. Look, you've got a Republican leadership in Washington, and then you've got the Tea Party, but and that's certainly where the latter is certainly where the racism is bubbling up right now. But you've got a Republican majority in power in the House that is refusing still to take on this Tea Party because they're frightened of that. So the best you come up with now is these sort of ham-handed efforts to say, see, we too care about inclusion and equality.
Well, you know, Congresswoman, it's not just the tone, it's policy. I mean, just last week, you, Congresswoman Fudd, you wrote Attorney General Holder a letter asking him to review 2 new proposed voting laws in Ohio. Let me quote you. You said, with no indication that voter fraud is a widespread problem in Ohio, this proposal is a thinly veiled attempt to reduce the number of people able to exercise their right to vote. They are attempts to suppress the voting rights of African Americans and other minorities.
Absolutely, Reverend. I think that they will stop at nothing to make sure that they make it difficult for people who they don't want to vote to vote. I mean, quite frankly, they are out to make sure that Democrats, obviously, but minorities, young people, senior citizens, the disabled, those people who the Democratic Party has always supported, they're making it more and more difficult for these people to exercise their right to vote. And so they're going to continue in any way they possibly can to either reduce the number of days you can vote early, to make it more difficult to get an absentee ballot. They're going to do whatever it takes. And Ohio is one of the states that is doing this in a big way.
Wow.
John Huston has continued to do everything he can to make sure that people who look like me, people who vote like me, cannot vote.
You know, Dana,
Hey, Reverend,
it becomes
sow your seed in the morning, and do not let your hand rest until in the evening, for you do not know which will have success, whether this one or that one, or whether they will both do well.
With the black kids cheering, yeah, right on, right on, right on, right on. Race hustlers and the grievance industry have intimidated the so-called conversation. This president, I think, has exposed himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people.
Bush had shock and awe. We're looking at shuck and jive here. That's what I'm going to name this. The Obama operation in Syria, Operation Shuck and Jive, because that's what this is.
One tweet, Dana, or a series of tweets can't undo all of that, because these are the guys who are really the heads.
Should we be talking about jobs anyway? I mean,
Reverend, that's so. And what the problem really
Sharon?
with the Republican Party right now is if they look at the demographics, where things are going.
I mean, 11 million
they're not going to be
have left the
majority
workforce,
party, in America for very long at all. If they're
and
only,
1.4 million jobs
to,
were created.
White males.
900,000
So,
of them
two
are
things going on.
part-time.
One is the sort of
Now, today is the 2nd of December. And what are they talking about?
Of the Rosa Parks tweet, but it's very.
I don't know. You decide, America. But this has to stop. Propaganda, racism, stuff like that is terrible.
To give them the benefit of the
doubt
on those
it's terrible.
And Madam Chairlady is not
They're just not keeping out of people's heads. You know, it's becoming ridiculous.
They won't hold a vote on immigration.
That's all I'm saying.
They're vowing to run on the abortion issue in 2014.
Okay.
And they're fighting birth control access at the state.
Oh, when the saints
Certainly it is
come
not,
marching in.
strictly race. I mean,
Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, how I want to be in that number. Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, when the saints.
Not just all people of the same racial background.
All right, we'll see you.
They're young, they're old, they're sick.